Oh right. Wow, the thumbnail didn't change. Are we at the Galactic HQ? Yeah. How many Pokémon do you think are gonna die to Cyrus? 0. Because I'll sweep his shit. snot-nosed. Using focus punch on a quad resist. Interesting maneuver. I was interested in seeing how much it would do. And do it did not. More or less jack shit. Not much, anyway. The fact that poison heal mons take damage from poison outside of battle bothers me to no end. With a toxic and flame orbs Gen IV. I'm fairly sure they were. I think all the orbs were. Nope, Gen V. Life Orb in new was Gen V. Wow, okay. I'm getting too old now that it's all starting to mesh together. Shrooms just can't lead well here. Same. This is the best BGM in Gen 4. Oh god, does substitute even block guillotine? Dunno, look it up. I'm curious too. It breaks through a substitute. That could have been a disaster. Oh dear. At least this place is easier to navigate than Silphco. It is not. This is the beginning. Good, I don't like double battles. BFFT couldn't even do enough damage to KO itself with recoil. So pathetic. I think Galactic HQ has all but like the last 6 grunt fights in it. Fighting grunts is so much fun. Oh right. Can't put this to bed. Been kinda wondering why something smelled like food when I woke up today. Couldn't figure it out. Well, turns out I do smell like food. even after showering. Weird. Did you leave the oven running? No, not this time. Maybe you shouldn't wash with vegetable oil. Smells like instant noodles. But it's been a couple of days since I ate some. I love the way Luca talks. It's hard to believe that Cyrus is only 27. I forgot Cyrus was so young. Act like a 40-year-old. LMAO, yeah. I also learned that there's a special NPC in normal platinum that only appears if you got an event Arceus, not the one from in-game. What kind of NPC? Also wow. Never knew there was a doll here. Just one that explains the plate lore. Oh yeah, the Poke doll is in Vanilla Platinum. LMAO. Dunno why, but the anime caused me to find Arbok cute as a kid. God, I love this theme. Same, best Gen 4 BGM. Speaking of the anime, I can no longer find any videos on the Ludicolo man. Mirror B. No, there was this Mexican guy who used a Ludicolo. Time to go get Lopunny. We get to listen to more Galactic HQ theme, so good. If you're happy, I'm happy. Hecht, what would you do if you met your antimatter clone, TCEH? At the Super Hecht Gaming channel featuring Hecht the Lies. Marry him. That's a choice. Could you tell Dugong from Shiny Dugong? Isn't Shiny Dugong slightly more peachy or something? The tiniest of bits. Time for CBT. Hecht, isn't the majority of your life CBT though? Yeah. I could have brought Togekiss. Totally forgot. Why doesn't the Crobat have U-turn? Well, whoops. Maybe it just didn't use it. It probably would have used it cause it'd be neutral on Metagross. Choice banded drain punch isn't gonna be enough to take that down, I think. Rock climb and its shit accuracy. It's 95 actually. Living on the edge there. Granted, rock moves in general have shit accuracy for some reason. Oh, they buffed it. It was 85 in the normal game. What to do? Aren't there only like 4 rock moves in the entire series that have 100 accuracy? Smackdown, Ancient Power, Power Gem and Accelerock. Magnazone. Nice manga reference.
And now we have Gastrodon. The difference in its east and west forms is purely aesthetic, but how that form is chosen is extremely cool. In Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, they are divided by their respective sides of the formidable weight. This meant, unlike Swampert, Gastrodon could take a surprise Grass Knot from Jirachi or Infernape, which could be game-breaking. Now, Gastrodon didn't have Stealth Rock and wasn't too imposing on the offensive side, so it was generally not seen too often, but on the few occasions it was used, it showed how effective its traits were if used correctly. It was an effective Curse Sweeper, as thanks to its ability, Sticky Hold, it was immune to Trick, which was a common method of neutering other bulky setup sweepers. Being immune to Clefable's knockoff made it difficult to handle for defensive teams, especially since Gastrodon was often paired with Magnezone to remove Skarmory. Gastrodon was great alongside trapping in general, as Dugtrio effectively removed irritating Breloom, and often Magnezone and Dugtrio paired up to fully support an endgame Gastrodon sweep. Well, until Dugtrio was banned, but Cursed Gastrodon remained a threat just alongside Magnezone. It wasn't beholden to its Curse set though. It could act as a generally tough to break bulky water, filling a crucial defense role in more defensive teams. Its main competition was Milotic, and Gastrodon's quadruple grass weakness held it back in comparison to the big fish, as it meant it had a more difficult time countering offensive Heatran. However, Gastrodon stonewalled many Pokemon Milotic couldn't hope to answer, mainly electric types. It sat on offensive Zapdos and Rotom, as Sticky Hold prevented the latter from tricking it. Gastrodon's resistance to Stealth Rock and immunity to Sandstorm, meaning that it gained passive recovery in Sandstorm, was a notable advantage, as it made it difficult to wear down. Even if it was double switched on with Stealth Rock up in Sand, it wouldn't have lost any health at all, whereas Milotic would lose 12.5% that it wouldn't get back without using a turn on Recover. Finally, its rock resistance made it a great counter to Dragon Dance Tyranitar, and meant it could stave off Choice Band Stone Edges as well. Gastrodon was niche and not seen too often, but nobody would dispute its viability in OU. It was solid and saw some significant tournament success. Of course, it wasn't a true OU Pokemon. However, weirdly enough, it wasn't as good in UU as it was in OU. Without Sandstorm and strong electric and rock moves flying around, Milotic was generally a superior choice, especially since it could shrug off Moltres' HP grasses. Gastrodon wasn't a bad Pokemon at all, just generally outdone and hard to fit on teams that wouldn't be better off with another Pokemon. As such, it dropped to NU, and it had trouble fitting in there as well. Again, it wasn't bad, just tough to fit. It still had competition with another water type, this time Slowking, who once again was generally preferred for its ability to handle HP grass from a prominent tier fire type. The fire type being Charizard this time around, as well as Slowking's ice and psychic resist that let it answer Jinx. Gastrodon also struggled to counter the tier's Electrics, Manectric, and Magneton because they had no reason to run any hidden power other than grass, and its lightweight wouldn't save it against Raichu's Grass Knot after a nasty plot either. Gastrodon wasn't really a reliable counter to much. It was generally fairly annoying to kill, but not particularly. Not least because it couldn't muster much offense in return, and because grass moves were absolutely everywhere. It did counter Haunter quite well, but that wasn't enough to land it on most teams. In theory, it wasn't a bad Pokemon on stallish teams, because Sticky Hold would ruin any trick or switcheroo attempts and could spread Toxic effectively, but even then it was niche. Overall, Gastrodon wasn't a bad Pokemon in NU, just like it wasn't bad in UU. It was just not as easy to slot on a team as other Pokemon. Funnily enough, even though it was NU, its best niche was in OU. Definitely not a bad debut generation though. Seeing use, however scattered, in all three of Gen 4's sub-Ubers above Little Cup tiers, and being regarded as having useful traits in all of them, was a lot better than many Pokemon ever got. Black and White's Dream World gave Gastrodon one of the greatest buffs ever, Storm Drain, which was previously useless in singles, but now gave it a water immunity, and if it was hit by a water move, it would even gain a special attack boost. This came at an incredible time, as Gen 5 was, of course, overrun by rain. Gastrodon didn't care that Specs Politoed's Hydro Pump was stronger than Specs Latios' Draco Meteor, or that Life Orb Starmie Hydro Pump had become even more devastatingly powerful. It would take approximately 0% from these attacks all the same. In addition, it was an incredible counter to the devastating Thundurus, who ripped through most of the metagame, but not Gastrodon. It countered it fully. Gastrodon was generally a great counter to other special attackers on Rain, and it may not have been a counter to these Pokemon, but it was able to shrug off hits from Latios and Tornadus, crippling them with Toxic. Gastrodon wasn't just a counter to Rain though. Against Sand, it completely sat on the irritating Rotom Wash, being immune to both Volt Switch and Hydro Pump, and plenty of Sand used Thundurus as well. Gastrodon made up developed the excellent anti-weather sweeper of itself, Skarmory, and specially defensive Heatran. They had tremendous defensive synergy together, countering huge swaths of the metagame's most dangerous threats and allowing defensive teams to keep up. Sand teams loved the core, allowing them to combat rain easily, and the three were so solid that they even featured on several weatherless defensive teams, being used as an example of how one didn't necessarily need to use weather to win. The trio spread passive damage with ease, as Gastrodon made the most out of another Gen 5 gift, Scald. Gastrodon continued its excellence even after Thundurus's ban, as being able to so completely stuff Rotom was invaluable, and it saw some use on Rainstall as well, although its home was an anti-rain anchor on sand. Some players experimented with Gastrodon's offensive capabilities too. If it had special attack investment and received the Storm Drain boost from one of the many water moves flying around, it hit quite hard, leading some players to make use of Choice Specs and Life Orb sets on Rain, and Deoxys defense hyper-offensive teams. Even Ferrothorn didn't want to switch into its Earth power. Then Black and White 2 came around, and so did new rain threats. In Black and White 1, Gastrodon used special defense, but now with the addition of Keldeo, it had to use physical defense, so it wasn't destroyed by Secret Sword. With physical defense, it was a solid check to Keldeo, albeit not a perfect counter, but given how generally difficult Keldeo was to deal with, it was one of the best answers available, especially since it wasn't at all vulnerable to Tyranitar's pursuit and couldn't be overwhelmed by the sheer power of Specs Hydro and Rain. Gastrodon's new physical defense investment was nice in other ways too. It wasn't a hard counter or anything, but it was able to take hits from monsters like Terrakion, Garchomp, Landorus T, and Mamoswine, easing the burden on its teammates against three tough-to-answer threats. Gastrodon's lack of special defense meant it was no longer able to shrug off Latios's Draco Meteor or Hurricane from Tornadus, both Therian and regular. But it also was still naturally tanky enough to handle other relevant threats. Thundurus Therian could just about never afford to run Nasty Plot and Focus Blast on the same set, and without both, it had no hope of breaking through Gastrodon, while Alakazam struggled to beat it as well. Gastrodon's usage fluctuated throughout Black and White 2, as it competed with other bulky waters like Jellicent and the Slow Twins, but it was always there, ready to stop a Rotom Wash in its tracks or give a Rain team a hard time. Gastrodon was an incredibly important piece of Gen 5 OU. And we're not done with Gastrodon in Gen 5 singles just yet though, because it was also amazing in Ubers. Remember how it was now immune to water? Well, turns out that applied even to King Kyogre, and Gastrodon established itself as one of the more reliable Kyogre counters in the tier, taking a whopping 0% from even a fully powered Choice Specs Water Spout. It was also immune to Thunder and not particularly afraid of Ice Beam, making it one of the best responses to the single scariest Pokemon in the game. It didn't just answer Kyogre though, it was also a great answer to many variants of Palkia and Calm Mind Arceus, shutting the latter's boost down with Clear Smog. It was possibly the hardest counter to Electric Arceus in the game, as it was immune to its judgments and wasn't at all afraid of its ice beams. Gastrodon also prevented Zekrom from throwing out Bolt Strikes and Volt Switches, completely sat on support Dialga, and even thwarted Kabutops. It was a great Pokemon on bulky Sun, Rain, and Sand, pairing incredibly well with Ferrothorn and its spikes. Now Gastrodon became less common in Black and White 2 Ubers, as the Lati twins regained Soul Dew, and thus the demand for a Kyogre counters was lower, plus it wasn't quite bulky enough to handle Kyurem White. However, it was still the little slug that countered the big Kyogre and retained a small niche, as being able to handle Kabutops was invaluable. As a whole, Gen 5 was thoroughly amazing for Gastrodon. Gastrodon's best qualities transfer with varying success to the VGC metagame, despite access to an excellent spread move in Muddy Water, as well as good coverage in Ice Beam and Earth Power. Gastrodon's relatively low damage output and reliance on leftovers and Toxic for pressure are hindrances in the faster-paced doubles format, where it can sometimes struggle to make a huge impact. Recover meant it could be a long-lived nuisance, but that didn't always translate to game-winning scenarios if Gastrodon wasn't actually doing damage. It's no mystery what keeps Gastrodon usable though. Storm Drain. Already a strong ability in singles, is absolutely incredible in doubles, and makes Gastrodon's partnerships with water-weak Pokemon potent enough that it's worth using. Gastrodon settled into this niche nicely in VGC 2012, the first year it was available after Storm Drain was buffed to increase special attack. Gastrodon's combination of Storm Drain and its low speed meant it was commonly seen as a glue for teams, as it befits its sticky nature. Storm Drain, aside from helping out fire types like Heatran and Volcarona, meant Gastrodon was a worthwhile bring against rain teams, and its low speed made it an adequate Trick Room answer as well. Its ground typing also came in handy for handling big threats such as Metagross and opposing Heatran. However, even those roles came with their drawbacks. Sure, Gastrodon was good against some rain mons, but what about Ludicolo? Sure, it could use its speed and Trick Room well, but to do what exactly? High-level opinion on Gastrodon was split. While some touted its versatility, others were convinced that it was absolutely garbage due to the lack of offense it brought to the field, without Storm Drain boost. A glue Pokemon Gastrodon may have been, but to some, why stick things together with glue when you could find a sturdier solution? Nevertheless, Gastrodon players were able to amass enough good results in 2012 to show that the slug had at least some places it could call home. Randy R. Inanimate Qua was able to win the British Columbia Regionals with a rain-boosted Gastrodon team that combined the slug's comfort in wet conditions with its ability to redirect water moves away from teammates like Metagross and Volcarona. R. Inanimate opted for an offensive Gastrodon with boosts from Ludicolo and Politoed, ensuring it was a threatening presence, especially to opposing Trick Room teams that could throw off R. Inanimate's rain-based speed control. While defensive Gastrodon would rarely opt for a Citrus Berry, R. Inanimate stuck to the norm of Rindleberry to remove Gastrodon's most glaring weakness. He would go on to take top 8 at the Canadian Nationals with the same team. Moving forward, Simon Emanuel was able to make top 16 at the US Nationals with a Gastrodon team, and Huey Ha tore through the World's Last Chance qualifier to place top 10 at Worlds with a team that showcased Gastrodon in a different weather. Huey didn't use the Blizzard Gastrodon that sometimes showed up in cold conditions, instead opting for a defensive spread with Citrus Berry and Recover that let the slug stay around. You may think that's not a lot of offensive presence, but Huey more than made up for it with a signature unique pick in Choice Specs Gyarados, which could boost Gastrodon with its Surf and keep Gastrodon alive even longer with Intimidate. However, Huey wasn't even the highest placing Gastrodon player at Worlds. That honor went to Joe Pokulski, who finished 4th overall. Joe's team made it clear that Gastrodon has evolved to persist through virtually any type of climate. His defensive Gastrodon was in service of supporting a sand team, namely directing water-type moves away from Excadrill so the mold could sweep. Of course, Gastrodon's ground typing is an added bonus here, letting it ignore the chip damage of Sandstorm. Gastrodon's usage was still fairly high in 2013, where it found favorable matchups amongst the influx of Landorus Therian and Heatran. However, Landorus T's presence meant Gastrodon now had even more competition as a ground type, a slot that had already been somewhat crowded between Garchomp and Excadrill. Nevertheless, Gastrodon still put up some good results. Chio Hwan Yum made top 4 at the Korean Nationals with a bulky Gastrodon to stop Rain Team, and Marcus Steffen used Gastrodon on a Zapdos Garchomp Disquake team to place 16th at the German Nationals. At the US Nationals, Kevin Fisher took his own 16th place with an offensive Expert Belt Gastrodon, while Nicholas Saman finished 15th with his own Hail Gastrodon team. Gastrodon's best performances came at Australian Nationals, where it was on 3 separate teams in the top cut. Rob Whitehill's 8th place Rain Team, Peter Sale's 4th place team, and Jordan Bradley's Bronze Medal squad, which once again paired Gastrodon with Abomasnow. However, Gastrodon's showing at Worlds was decidedly lukewarm. Trista Ryuzaki Medin placed 29th with it, and Kamal Phonic Frog Harris rounded out top 32 with a Gastro Sand team, but not a single Gastrodon made it to top 16. With Gen 5 coming to a close, opinion on Gastrodon in VGC was still divided. It had certainly put up some good placements, but many players still thought it wasn't worth a team slot that could be used by something with a bit more oomph or utility like speed control or redirection. It shouldn't come as a surprise that most successful Gastrodon teams were those that focused support onto it or used it as a very specific redirector for another key Pokemon. Drizzle no longer summoned permanent rain in Gen 6, and Gastrodon's time in OU seemed to be over. But that didn't last. Keldeo was terrorizing battlers once again, now making use of Scald and Pursuit support to burn and trap its checks respectively. In response, Gastrodon returned, not being threatened by Scald one bit, and threatening its own Scald in return. Being able to sit on Rotom and Thundurus was also invaluable, and with its physical defense investment, it was even able to reliably check the incredibly dangerous Mega Metagross. Gastrodon wasn't slapped on every team, and couldn't be used as a team's sole Keldeo check, as Keldeo began using Focus Blast and HP Grass, partly in response to it, but it went a long way in helping its team stave off Keldeo's most dangerous weapon, Scald. Gastrodon had 2 main uses. The first most common one was a pure defensive tank against multiple threats on defensive spike teams, most notably acting as the team's primary answer to Keldeo and countering Mega Metagross, which was particularly useful given how commonly those two were paired together. On these teams, it could also make use of Clear Smog, which helped its team deal with the ever-dangerous Calm Mind Clefable. Gastrodon didn't just have to be a wall on bulky teams though, it could also threaten a sweep with the Curse set on balanced and bulky offense teams, using Magnezone support to remove Ferrothorn and Skarmory. With heavier special special defense investment that was more befitting of a curse set. It wasn't able to tank Keldeo's choice specs, secret swords, and Metagross's tough claws Zen headbutts, but it did become one of the best answers to Mega Diancie, while shrugging off Tornadus Therian's Hurricane and being able to recover safely against Specs Latios and Specs Hydreigon. The curse set was more specific and hard to fit on teams than the wall, but it was still a fine set that could threaten the sweep surprisingly quickly against teams loaded with physical attackers like Bisharp and Azumarill. Overall, despite not being OU this time around, Gastrodon had another solid performance in the tier. Now, though Gastrodon was still putting up strong showings in OU, it had also returned to its old home of NU, and it was quite good there, cementing its place as one of Pokemon's foremost tiering anomalies. It countered several top-tier metagame threats. It completely ruined the immensely dangerous Barbaracle and Kabutops, and thanks to its physically defensive spread, it was also a perfect counter to Aggron and Swords Dance Charizard. It was generally difficult to break through for most Pokemon that weren't grass, and it wasn't just limited to Pokemon it hardwalled like Floatzel, as it could plant itself in front of an opposing offensive team with lots of physical attackers and could be difficult to force out even with strong Pokemon like Rhydon, Tauros, and Kangaskhan. Being able to so reliably handle so much of the metagame was invaluable, and Gastrodon was a top tier Pokemon as a result. All it required was support against annoying grass types like Lilligant, which wasn't tough to come by considering how good Garbodor